Hello, it's Mike with TradeWinds RV Center, here to congratulate you on your 2024 JAYFLIGHT SLX 184 BS travel trailer. I'm going to walk you around it, show you how to use a few things to get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite. A few things to take into consideration when you're parking. On your campsite, I want you to leave room for that awning to come in and out. On your off campsite, really just want you to think about where your power and water connections are going to be. Your power is going to plug in just behind your tire, and then your water connection for campsites is going to be just in front of the rear. So park accordingly so you can utilize the facilities at the campsite. Once you arrive and unhook our hitch, first thing we'll do is level our unit. Now your unit, the door is about in the middle of the unit, so you stick a level in there. Right will bring it up, left will bring it down. Once we got it level, next thing we're going to do is stabilize it. All the way in the rear, you got a couple of stabilizing jacks. Got a hand crank. Before I crank these down, I'm going to recommend stabilizing jack pads. Jack pads down here will protect the feet of your stabilizing jacks from dirt and debris and hot blacktop in the summer. Good investment. Use your 10% off coupon. Grab a pair of them. Put them down on the ground. Crank these down just until they're taut. Now once it feels like it's going to start lifting the unit, stop. Remember, our unit's already level. Now we're just stabilizing it. So get both of them down, one on each side. Once we got our unit level and stable, next thing we do is hook up our power and water. Running water through your unit right now, so I'm going to leave this on here and tell you, first off, a water pressure regulator. These water pressure regulators are going to reduce the water pressure to 40 to 50 psi, protecting the lines in your unit. Always use these when hooking up water to your unit because you don't know what the water pressure is at different campsites. Go ahead, hook up your hose. Have that in there. Make sure your release valve is down on your hot water heater. That way water doesn't pour out of here. Then you can go ahead and turn that hose on. After the hose has been on for a few minutes, go inside and open your slide if you have to, but I need you to get in there and open up your water taps. Showers, sinks, get a nice steady flow of water going through them, get all the air out of the lines, shut them off, and then you're all set to camp. Now let's say we're going to go dry camping. In that case, we're going to fill up our freshwater tank. Toward the front of the unit here, no need for a water pressure regulator here, simply gravity fill this with a hose. Two ways to tell it's full. One, there's an overflow valve right here, or two on the inside where you check the levels of your black and gray tanks. There's also a freshwater button. Once that's full, remove your hose, put this cap back on there, and then whenever you want to utilize that water, you will turn on your water pump. Don't turn on your water pump and hook up to the city water that's already pressurized. Alright, we're all set to camp with power and water. Let me go ahead and walk you around the rest of the unit. Start here on the off camp side. Again, our freshwater intake. There's a low point drain for that. On your slides, they do have a spray that you can spray on these slide seals to keep them nice and pliable and flexible over the years. Good maintenance for it. Again, our power. Hot water heater that covers off it for a moment. Here's where you plug in your cable or satellite. Again, our city water connection. Down here is where we'll dump our black and gray tanks. Talk about those when leaving the campsite. Spare tire has a cover. Keep that on there. That'll keep that from dry rotting in the sun. You're prepped for a backup camera. Over here is where your lippert ladder will attach. Again, your awning does have a pitch control in case it does rain. You can go ahead and pull down on that and that'll pitch the rainwater away. Recommended heavy rain or windstorms to bring these in. They're more of a shade awning than a rain, so I'm going to bring them in heavy storms. Over here on our campsite, we got a couple outdoor speakers, a vent for our hood range, flue for your furnace. A couple things on this. One, steer clear of it if you're running it. It does get hot. Two, they got bug sprays that'll go on top of those as well. Low point drain, main low point drain there. We got a couple of 110s out here as well. Big storage up front here. Your propane regulator there, lefty loosey to open on those. Your battery posts, check them every now and then, make sure those haven't wiggled loose over time. That covers everything out here. Let's go take a look on the inside. Now these lippet solid steps, they are adjustable by pulling on these knobs in here. Now loosen up, move the legs up and down. Your door will only go to 90 degrees, which is perfect, keeps the awning from hitting it. Biggest thing on these steps, you want to make sure that door is all the way open, because you see how close that comes when it's bringing it up and down. Alright, coming up inside the unit, first thing I'll point out is your fire extinguisher. Make sure that you and everyone that's camping with you knows the fire extinguisher is located by the entry doorway in case of an emergency. Up here's our awning control. On your awning, you're only going to want to run that out until that falls down to 90 degrees and you can see that brown bar. If you hold that out, that will continue to run itself out, flip up onto itself and start to run itself up backwards. So keep an eye on it when you're running it out and only run it out as far as you need to. Below that is going to be some lighting, interior, exterior. Slide control, we'll utilize that when closing this up. Up top here we've got our brand new battery, fresh water button, that's the one I said to hold down when filling your potable water. Keep an eye on that when you're filling it. Black and gray tanks. Here's where you turn on your water pump when utilizing that freshwater tank. Do have a backer in the wall here for a TV. If you plug a TV in here, 12 volt. When you plug in your cable here, make sure that this button is pushed in there and that green light's on. That's your antenna. 110 with GFCI reset. Your sink, keep an eye on your plumbing. It's almost all PEX nowadays. Keep an eye on that, maintain that. Up top, self-explanatory microwave, light and fan. Above our 2-burner cooktop, those will light with a stick lighter. Storage, our fridge, the controls are inside, right up there. Down below our fridge is going to be our furnace release, where heat comes out. Bunk areas have individual lighting and storage, as you know. Access panel to your breaker box and fuses. Handful of 15s, a 30 and a 40. Highly recommend having some of those with you when you go. Around the wall here is our thermostat. I'll show you quickly. Air, you turn on from here. Quick vent, dump vents, open close from the ends. Off. Back over here to our thermostat, kick our heat on. Turn that heat up on the bottom. There, that kicked on. Now you'll notice when I shut this off that it takes a few minutes for this to cycle through before that fan actually shuts off. 110's here. Our table will wiggle loose. Make sure you lift it up off the wall there. Remove your legs. Put the table down on these plastic pieces. Put your flat cushions on top. Gives you another sleeping area. Smoke alarm in the ceiling here. Emergency exit window. Just snatch this and pull it towards you. That'll rip the screen out of there. Storage underneath our bed. Carbon monoxide propane detector. That is 12 volt. Keep in mind that's always running off your battery. Before going back to the bathroom, I missed the sound system here. Turn that on.
Touch that many people.
Indoors is 1. Outdoors is zone 2.
What you're going to do, you're just hoping to make it and have your dreams. And when you get older, you hope you can look back.
AM, FM, Bluetooth, auxiliary. Nice sound system. Touch it once to mute it. Hold it in to shut it off. Now we'll head back into that bathroom. Up top we've got a hand open vent there, one touch lighting. Not much more to talk about it here other than our hot water heater. This is where you'll turn that on, and over here is where you set the temperatures. Charging port up here. Lastly, you've got this little sticker on the wall up here. It's just telling you where it's pre-wired for solar. Keep that on there for future reference in case it ever gets wired for solar. Alright, that about covers everything on the inside. Let's act like we're leaving the campsite and close the unit up. I was starting the back. Shut off my interior lights here. Starting the back, work my way forward and shutting off all of the accent lighting. Make sure our bathroom vent is closed. Last accent light. Once you shut off all the main lights, turn on your living room lights again. All of our accent lights. Turn on the living room lights and say doors and drawers. Walk through the unit, make sure all doors and drawers are closed. Nothing's going to impede our slide from coming in. And just hit slide in. One thing on this curtain as well, the slide was already open, so I want to mention it now. But when you open up your slide, take this curtain and throw it up on your bed. That way your slide isn't going to pinch it back there. I got to slide in, shut off interior lights, and exit the unit. Again, these steps. Lift them straight up inside. Lock them in. Lock and deadbolt. Lift and turn your handle. That's how you want that for travel. You don't want to lock and deadbolt that until you leave the dump site. If we are out dry camping, we're going to bring up our stabilizing jacks, head over here, underneath our freshwater tank, we'll dump our fresh water, and head on home or to the nearest dump station, whatever we're in need of. If we're at a campsite, we'll unhook our power, our water, our cable, hook up our hitch, and head on up to the dump station. At the dump station, park accordingly. Your dump's going to be right behind the tires on the driver's side. That 10-foot hose comes with your convenience pack. Hook that up and pull this black handle. It's going to be a black holding tank. That's going to be your sewage. Once it sounds like it's no longer draining, go inside, look to make sure it's empty. When it is, come back out here, close that handle, and pull your gray handle. That's going to be cleaner water as your sinks and your showers. While my gray's dumping, come on around here and open up your low point drains right here. If we're done camping for a while, you don't want to leave stagnant water by the hot water heater. Just pull back on this pressure release valve. It's going to dump a little bit of hot water out of there. Just make sure you push that back down. When your gray is done, close that gray handle. That's going to be cleaner waters again. Sinks and showers, that'll clean your sewage hose out for you. Then you can conveniently and sanitarily store it right here in your bumper. Again, thank you guys so much for your purchase. Hope you enjoy this J Flight for many years to come. Happy camping.